Yo, what is good, you guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to teach you how you can climb the rune ladder and reach a high rank, get the best rewards, and boost your combat power in Throne and Liberty. I'm currently ranked 212, and most of my runes are sitting between 30 and 40. I do run multiple sets of gear. However, you'll see here my staff is 34, 34, 27. My spear 30, 25, 25, 25, 24. My daggers 42, 28, 34, 35, 19, 33, 35, 38, 30, so on and so forth. My current combat power on my spear dagger, which is pretty new, is almost 4.1k. My staff dagger is 4,240, a little bit higher if I were to change my skill setup, 4,250. But most of this extra combat power is coming from mastering runes. So if you want to push past like 4k, really most of your combat power is going to come from runes. So I want to give you guys as much advice as I can as to how to upgrade your runes. The first thing that I want to say is what you should be doing every week in order to not just push rank, but to get the achievement rewards. The most important thing about farming runes are these achievement rewards. How do you farm them? Well, you're going to get that achievement rewards from doing first clear rewards. Now, this is totally based on your skill level and the skill level of your party. I have done all of this with random pickup groups. I may have had one or two friends in some of my groups here or there, but the majority of these are completely random groups that I put together on the party board full of whoever meets the combat power requirements that I set for the party, or if I join a group, whatever they set, right? But essentially, the most important thing is the first clear rewards. Now, I will show you guys, like, Valley Slaughter, I've done up to T6. Void Waste, I've done T3. Typically, you are limited by the skill level of your party. So it doesn't matter how good you are, because most of these dungeons I know, but a lot of times, you really want to gauge if it's worth it for you to do the dungeon based off the average player. There's a lot of guides out there. I highly recommend watching the videos and guides, but really you just got to get out there and learn the mechanics. But I would say what I've started doing is focusing on first clear rewards. Whatever you see people running the highest, that's the dungeon you want to focus on. That way you can clear towards the highest of that. And if you're smart and if you're a good player, what you can do is actually skip all the way to the highest tier of the group that's currently running. So for instance, if you haven't done any clears, but you know the dungeon, which the only way you could really do that is by watching footage over and over and over and over, then what you can do is do the highest tier, and that's going to get you all the rewards leading up to that tier. This is a harder method if you are a newer player. So if you are a newer player, I don't recommend doing this. All you're going to do is piss people off. If you are a newer player, I recommend starting at the lowest level available and climbing naturally, doing one step by one step. But for people who are experienced, like me, I have been skipping tiers and just doing the highest possible. The most important thing are the clear rewards, like I said, and you get every clear reward leading up to the highest tier that you have completed. You may not get the ability to unlock that dungeon, but you will get the rewards, and you can set a group or start a group at that level that you've unlocked next week if no one is running a higher group. So this is what I've been doing. This is what I recommend for newer players and more veteran players. This is how the rune system works in global. Now, once you get these rewards for the week and you think you've peaked for the week, at that point you're going to want to dismantle the runes that you get. And as you dismantle these runes, I'm going to teleport to Stoneguard and kind of show you guys, but You only want to do this after you've gotten the max completed runes for the week, because the runes you craft are based off the levels of your runes. Therefore, you want to push the highest level of your rune possible before you start crafting. There are 3 vendors you can craft runes at: the armor crafter, the accessories crafter, and the weapon crafter. I recommend crafting at the weapon crafter unless you have an enormous amount of leftover solent. I recommend crafting here because it is the cheapest. It is 30,000 solent. You will craft less for the amount of rune powder. However, it's not so much of a solent sink. Whereas it's 30,000 for the weapon, if you do armor or accessories, it's 289,000 solent per craft. This is a huge solent sink, and it is not that rewarding. Honestly, don't recommend it. But again, you only want to craft these runes after dissolving. You dissolve after you've slotted the best runes for the week into your gear. You dissolve every other rune that you don't need, that you don't want. And what you're going to do is, like I say, your craft using rune fragments. These rune fragments at one of these merchants. Now, the trick to this is, like I said, as you unlock runes in tiers, such as white, blue, white, green, blue, as you unlock them in tiers, each rune has a level. And once you get that rune at a certain level, you've now raised the level of that rune. The only ones that really matter are blues. You want all your synergies to be blue because blue is going to give you the most stats. So everything that's not blue is going to always be dissolved. Your greens and your whites are always going to be dissolved. The only thing that you're going to keep are your blues because you want blue synergies in all of your gear pieces. Chaos runes can be input into a blue synergy to keep the blue synergy, but that's the only exception. Other than chaos runes, everything else needs to be blue, right? I mean blue in rarity, okay? Those are the most important tips that I can give you guys as far as grinding and climbing your runes. Just a quick summary. Leveling your runes through not just co-op dungeons, but also the reward system. You get runes from doing events throughout the day. Ideally, bosses. The bosses are going to give you the most runes. You will get runes from completing random events as well. It's based on performance, but the majority or the most that you're going to get from random events is going to be from bosses. Therefore, you want to run all content, and the more content you run, the more your runes are going to level up. That's the best way to level basic runes. Now, I want to steer every single person watching this video away from spamming T1. Spamming tier 1 of these runes, you're not doing yourself a favor. All you're getting is gray runes. These gray runes don't matter. You need to raise the level of your blue runes. Sure, if you were to get T60 gray runes, which would take ages, sure, I guess now you're going to go to greens. And once you get your green 60, now you're going to go to blue. You're only going to get blue, sure. If you want to waste a bunch of time, it's a huge waste of time. I don't recommend it. The best way to get your runes is always going to be pushing for the next score achievement and climbing each tier, getting the first clear reward for each tier, unless you're good enough to skip. That way, you're getting the big chests, and you want to get up to where I'm at, where you're getting 60, 65, 65 per every tier you hit until you hit 50,000. Once you hit 50,000, then you're now streamlined at that point. That's when you want to grind whatever level above 5 that you can. That way you get a chance at chaos runes. But until you hit 50,000 score, you should not be spamming a tier that is not giving you first clear reward. That is how you will progress in this game. That is how you will progress your runes. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please drop them in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching the video, you guys. Peace and love.